and Verlander lead 2-0 at Pittsburgh in the first. I'm Steve DeSager.
We are heading into overtime on 1620 The Zone. Shock the system. Welcome to the After Hours Lounge on 1620 The Zone, the 1620 The Zone app, and 1620thezone.com. When 6A to 6P isn't enough, the boys have you covered. Here's Jimmy Allen and John Schreiner.
Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome inside the After Hours Lounge, brought to you by Bellevue University. If you're looking for the ideal college experience, head over to bellevue.edu. Register for classes today. I'm Jimmy Allen. Another angelic voice was John Schreiner. Dan Campion producing this here joint tonight. We got a great show lined up for you. 68 is the right number, at least for 2026. Which 32 teams can actually make the college football playoff? We'll debate at 6:30. We'll buy or sell at several different topics, including 5 stars in the 402. The coaches poll is out. Which teams will, won't, and should finish in the top 10 of college football by the end of college football season? And then an Omaha staple, Tim Yonk, the head coach of Omaha Creighton Prep and his junior Jays, in studio at 7:30. And then as always, we'll wrap up the show with our trash takes of the evening. 402-951-1620 is how you can get a hold of the show. Don't forget to follow the show and punch in for the night shift at After Hours 1620 on Twitter as well. Nebraska held their open practice on Saturday for 1890. And I don't want to be raise the red flag guy or doom and gloom or break glass in case of emergency, push the panic button person. This kind of seemed like the least excited we've really seen Matt Rhule in a long time. Now, he'd been doing media stuff all day. There'd been, bless you, Dan Campion. There'd been stuff all over Twitter. But he was asked openly, and he said, this week has been excellent, but he feels like this team isn't where they need to be. Now, this is also
anywhere near.
Yeah, this is also the first week of fall practice. And this team, he said, this team likes football. This team likes to practice, but it's a clear step in the right direction that they have that mentality about it. It just kind of felt like Matt Rhule was maybe a little discouraged with kind of what he saw leading up to this Saturday event.
Well, I mean, he's a football coach, and
yeah, I mean, he also doesn't want to go out there and pump smoke. We heard his offensive coordinator threatening violence to a running back if he got a big head about him saying something nice.
High-level football coaches, I think, are notorious in their lack of ability to be satisfied by anything.
That's a good point. At least the good ones, anyway.
I don't know if you can read too much into, body language and that sort of thing, because these guys, like, every small, minute detail eats them up inside.
Yeah.
And if there's something that's not perfect, they're going to be like torn up about it. And that's what makes them successful. That's why they're good at their job, is because, call it attention to detail, call it obsessive, call it whatever you want. That's what makes them really good. So I understand your concern, and I'm honestly, it concerned me a little bit as well. But on the other side of that coin is okay, let's take who the messenger is into account.
Well, and I think that's that part, the messenger part of it is the reason why it rang so many alarms for me, because he's usually glass half full guy. Yeah. And listen, we've also seen this coaching staff specifically talk to their team through the media. So it could have also just been hey, yesterday wasn't as good as it needed to be. Let's make sure we ramp it up a little bit here. The other thing that he brought up to start the conversation was ongoing injuries. Now, we did not see Dane Key on Saturday. He also did not practice on Friday, and he didn't mention Dane Key by name, but he addressed the lingering issues with this team, and he talked about soft tissue injuries. He brought up Quentin Ives and said there's some other guys that are dealing with some soft tissue stuff, nothing serious. And it felt like he was addressing Dane Key in that situation without really doing it. But here's the other thing. By all accounts, from Dana Holgorsen to Matt Rhule to the entire offensive staff, kind of feels like they know who wide receiver number 1 is. And we've had this coaching staff talk openly about one of the reasons that they canceled spring practice, the fact that all their main guys just keep getting hurt in the spring game, is that they didn't want to put film on tape for people. Now, I don't know how much that's really going to benefit, because you've kind of seen Dane Key a lot at Kentucky, but that could be something to do with it too. Like, you probably know who wide receiver number 1 is, and maybe this is just a benefit to get some other guys some work and keep guys healthy as well.
Yeah. With Dane Key specifically, I mean, there are some other guys that you are concerned about. Like we're going to talk about Demetrius Bell a little bit. That's worrisome. You can worry a little bit about Elijah Pritchett and where he might be. I don't think you worry about Dane Key. I think he's an experienced guy. He's a talented guy. And like you say, I think he's pretty clearly established as the number one. And I think they're just trying to protect him from himself in some way. Like this is a guy who you need him to be productive. You need him to be healthy. So if there's even a little ding that he might on a game week practice through, it's spring ball. We know you're going to be fine. Like take it easy or fall ball. Just take it easy. Don't overextend yourself now.
We're 24 days away from the football season. I don't need you making it any longer. Say it's spring. But yeah, Matt Rhule talked about how important it was to get into full pads because they only get 9 practices where you're allowed to hit and take guys down and make full contact. And he brought that up for the point to say, listen, there's going to be a lot of people here. People usually used to me getting on the microphone and doing a shtick and a spiel. And I'm paraphrasing here, but that, I'm usually here to put on a show, especially for events like this. That's not happening today because this is all business. And I really like that approach. And then he went on to talk about Demetrius Bell, as you just mentioned. And he said he's still dealing with an issue from the spring game last year. And he's going to see another specialist. He said that he's hoping to have him back by the early part of the year. I thought he meant January when he said that. And it clearly didn't because he clarified and said, we're hoping to have him back by the first game. So he meant the beginning of football season, not the beginning of the calendar year. So because if he was still injured from the spring game last year and he wasn't going to be back till January, that was going to be really concerning for where he was. But it's good to hear that they're hopeful that he might be back by the Cincinnati/Akron game.
This one I am more concerned about because we're trending towards the territory of a guy who
can't get on the field,
can't get back to full health to be the player that you thought he could be. Because coming out of high school, he was so athletic and so dynamic. And
it's kind of comparable to what they see Isaiah Mosey right now.
Yeah. And man, I don't know. You start to worry because I really loved his high school tape. And if he's still dealing with that injury, you just wonder,
is he ever going to be that
even
guy
when
again?
he gets back, is he going to be that guy?
Well, it's not even that. It's a couple things, right? It's the injury, but it's also adding muscle and weight from a college weight program on top of that injury. And there's a lot to be understood there. And he was Matt Rhule specifically asked about Elijah Pritchett right now. He said for him, it's divided into 3 parts. I mean, really for all football players, the physical, the psychological, and the technical and tactical portions of it. And he said Elijah is still learning the system, and this is not a college offense. Matt Rhule said, listen, we take some stuff that we did for the Giants, the stuff that Donovan Raiola was doing with the Bears, and it's complex, which is why we've been so good at developing this talent. And he said Elijah Pritchett is still kind of swimming. And I know that might be concerning to some people, but this is the first week of practice. There's probably a lot of guys that are swimming. Now, when you put it on film, Elijah Pritchett is a guy that in a run blocking scheme could go out there and play with the best of them. Now, he might be one of those guys that you just say, okay, let's let him, let's baptize by fire here and let him kind of figure it out. And that kind of feels like we're probably going to work him into this and try to make it as easy as possible. So when he is ready and it does start clicking, we can just kind of insert him into the equation.
Yeah, but the reason that this one was concerning to me is he's an experienced guy.
And they paid a lot of money to get him here.
And he's been playing college football for a while now. So how can the younger offensive linemen in this program seemingly pick it up faster than he can?
So here's why I didn't necessarily jump out the window at this one. Because he brought up the fact that in almost every one of his seasons, you don't start to see separation until week 2 or 3. He brought that up, and I went, okay, because if we're having this conversation 2 weeks from now, that's a major concern for me. I give some guys, especially that are coming from a system that they played a ton into a new one because they're relearning the language, they're relearning the players, especially on the offensive line. Because you also have a brand new voice, not only at quarterback, but at center and a guy making calls and things like that. Sure. Now, with that being said, there's also a lot of guys in that rotation that are dealing. Rocco Spindler's dealing with the same thing right now.
They're not talking about him not being able to pick it up.
The problem, but it is much different when you're playing tackle compared to guard, though. So that's why I'm giving him a little bit of the doubt. Am I concerned? Yes. Am I majorly concerned? Not quite.
Yeah, I mean, this was a guy that we pinpointed
People are saying first round draft
out
pick.
of the transfer portal was like, this guy is like an anchor type tackle on the offensive line who can really solidify things at a position of need. He's he was looked at as a plug and play day one guy.
Sure.
And if he's not that, where does that leave you? That's my question.
So we're a week ahead, and I think getting Gunnar Gattua back was a huge deal. They've got getting Teddy Prohaska back is probably a big deal. He said Turner Corcoran's probably closer than he has been at the start of season to this point, getting ready and being healthy. And I think Mason Goldman's probably going to fit into that equation as well. So you've got these guys that have experience, that have heard Justin Evans' voice, that have heard Dylan Raio's voice, that know the system, that were here a year ago. And I think that automatically gives them a leg up. Now, like I said, if we get to the end of this week and Elijah Pritchett is not factoring into that starting five, that's a big major issue for me. But I'm giving
they're dumbed down. You can just
okay,
say
yeah.
it.
Yep, they're dumbed down to the maximum degree. And it feels like that's the opposite we're doing. Now, we don't I can tell you right now, I don't know anything about Kalen DeBoer's system. And it could be the simplest of the simplest offenses. And you're asking a guy to go from that to a complex NFL style offense. That's probably a major jump for a lot of people. Now, that doesn't mean he can't get there. And for a guy who struggled in some pass rushing situations while he was at Alabama, to be out there thinking and reacting, it's probably a lot and a pretty big jump.
Well, and then the other question I have is for the coaching staff. Like, if they've got to be able to identify these things too. I mean, they would understand whether what's happening in Alabama is something that you can transfer to the style of offense they want to run, right? Like, is that a guy you want if he's been running in a like and again, don't know the situation.
Yeah, just make an educated guess.
But if he's not running something at the school he's transferring from that you think it's like, well, the learning curve is going to be huge if we bring him here. How do you identify that as a prime portal target?
How can you really make that assessment though? You know what I mean? Like, you can obviously ask the guy, hey, is it a struggle for you to do this? Well, no. Okay.
Sure. But they're going to be watching film and like, they're going to recognize the schemes and the things that they're doing in Alabama and the way they're running it. And they're going to say, they're going to be able to identify, can I do that? Probably not. Maybe I can tell you maybe what they're running. I don't know how complicated their system is. I don't have that kind of football knowledge. But a Division I head coach should be able to see that by watching the film and say, like, how complicated are the things that they're doing? And is it going to be easy or very difficult for this person to transfer into what we're doing?
Well, I guess this brings up a really interesting point then, right? Because I don't think anybody can look at Isaiah Neyor a year ago and say that was a home run get to the transfer portal. I think you could look at Jamal Banks and say that was probably a C plus B minus on the hit rate, right? The notion of it. But then you start looking at the rest of the transfer portal. Now, I think Elijah Judy is going to be a good transfer portal. Like we all think Williams Nwaneri is going to be. But like, you're talking about the biggest guys that they've gone out and get. We've heard Isaiah Hunter is a little bit behind on the development side of things. We know what happened with Jeff Sims. Like, if you're talking about,
I don't think Jeff Sims was a development problem at all.
No. But I'm talking about the evaluation portion.
Sure,
because you're talking about, were they able to identify Isaiah Pritchett's shortcomings in football knowledge about what he needs to do at this level? And if they're not, and I think we can all agree that's where Jeff Sims was. Now that's a completely different situation. Got hired late in the hiring process. Kind of took the word of a former coach. Like, I'm not trying to say that Matt Rule misevaluated, but there was clearly a miss there, right?
Yeah.
Now, if we're talking about probably the second biggest wide receiver target that they brought in to help in their freshman quarterback last year, couldn't block on the perimeter, didn't seem to fit the system, couldn't really figure it out by the end of the year, and Elijah Pritchett being probably the second biggest transfer pickup of this class, maybe outside of Dane Key, maybe Rocco Spindler, someone in the top 5 for sure. And they misevaluate that. I think that's a conversation going forward. I'm not there yet. I'm not one to say that again. Yeah. We're 1 week into fall camp, but I think that's a discussion that probably needs to be had.
Yeah,
but again, if you're in the transfer portal, there's probably a reason you're in the transfer portal too.
And I don't know whether you can split that the other way too, and say that they believe so much in their ability to teach that it doesn't matter where you're coming from.
That could be a lot of it as well.
We can teach anybody if they have the physical characteristics that we're looking for. We can teach them to play football the way we want them to play. So, I mean, you can split it either way. Is it bad evaluation, or is it a belief in your teaching abilities?
And again,
I don't
Elijah
know.
Pritchett has played exactly 0 games at Nebraska.
Right.
So we don't know what we don't know yet either. But speaking of the transfer things, Matt Rule was asked about like how the transfer guys were fitting in. He said, I almost forgot who the transfers were. He said, we tried not to bring anyone in who's going to complain about eating at the training table or being in the dorms. And said these guys that have transferred in have helped mold the wanting to practice that he talked about earlier in the press conference, and they're all in it together. And he specifically brought up Andrew Marshall, the transfer in from Idaho, and was like, listen, that dude is a professional in every sense. Like, doesn't complain about everything, shows up, does everything the right way, leads by example, and he's really excited about him. But he also brought up Dasan McCullough, who, like, and I've made no bones about this, that's the guy that I'm the most excited about this season, who's obviously been at a couple different other stops, but has played several different positions. And Mitch Sherman specifically asked him, hey, have you kind of tried to identify where Dasan's going to end up and line up at? And he goes, listen, he's kind of a positionless player because he could do so much. And I know there's probably some football purists out there that say you need to identify who he is and what he does best. If you're going to be a developer, that's what's going to get him to the next level. But if you could showcase all those talents for an NFL scout, you can't really put a price on that.
Well, there was a guy back in the Pelini days by the name of Eric Hagg.
Worked out.
They couldn't really find a position for him, so they created one. And he was a monster.
It kind of sounds like what John Butler's doing, by the way, because Matt Rule went on to talk about it. And we saw, for anybody that saw any of the film or was down in there on Saturday, John Butler was just yelling nickel, nickel, nickel over and over again because they wanted to get 6 defensive backs on the field. And obviously that's what Pelini did with that Peso-style defense. Now, I don't know if you can do that in the Big Ten. I mean, Michigan's going to go out there with 2 tight ends. Ohio State's going to line up some big body wide receivers in front. Like, you're going to have obviously a situation where you're probably going to need more down defensive linemen or linebackers in that situation. But it kind of feels like they feel really good about that defensive back room. Add Dasan McCullough into that equation, and I think we're going to see a lot of nickel coverage this year.
Yeah, I mean, defense has kind of shifted overall to, I mean, you see 3 safety looks in the NFL now.
Yeah.
You know, the 3-3-5, which is
20 defensive backs,
which is essentially a nickel defense anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't disagree at all. But I mean, this is all in effort to stop air raid, spread, like the modern style of football. And look, if you've got a guy who's versatile, who can play a little bit of down safety, he can play some outside linebacker. You can line him up in a 3-point and
it sounds like Jameer Khan is also going to be that guy that's somewhere in the linebacker, defensive back hybrid role as well.
Those guys are so valuable. You've got to to make these kinds of defenses work and work well. You need those guys who you can have out there to play at 2 different levels.
We talked about the Dane Key of it all at the beginning of this, and we're getting a ton of looks at guys like Quinn Clark and Keelan Smith, and they're delivering. They're kind of taking that next step forward. Like I'm never going to say a guy the level of Dane Key not being available is going to be a plus, but if he's established and he's got the relationship with Dylan, you know who wide receiver number 1 is. This is almost like an addition by subtraction with an ace in the hole, right? Like, you know that guy's going to be available on game day, and you're getting these other guys reps where it's pretty necessary and it counts. That might help with the development of not only this wide receiver room, but Dylan Raiola with this wide receiver.
Well, it gives you a chance to identify as well, because sometimes, you know, guys can get lost in the wash because maybe they don't test as well as someone else, or, you know, it's just guys can get overlooked.
Yeah. And
then if you give them a chance to show up and show what they can do, you might find a little diamond in the rough somewhere. And that's the opportunity that you have in front of you when your top guy has to sit for a little bit, is other guys. And now those other guys have to take that opportunity.
And it seems like those 2 specifically really have.
So, I mean, there is a silver lining to the cloud, if you will.
It's August, so naturally we're going to talk about college basketball on the other side of the break.
Great.
If you missed our breakdown of Saturday's open practice, check it out on our radio replay page on 1620thezone.com. It was brought to you by Aloe Fiber. I've been rocking with Aloe for a while now, and I'm telling you, it is the real deal. Speaking of deals, check this out right now. You can switch, stack, and save. Combine Allo Internet with DirecTV and Allo's new mobile services and lock in your price for 2 years. That's 24 months of premium services with no surprises or rises in cost. This deal's up for grabs until Labor Day, so don't wait. Head over to allofiber.com/stack tonight. 68 is a way better number than 69. The other side of the break. 1620 zone.
Hey, everybody, it's John Trenner. Hey, you know, last week I decided that I hadn't spent enough time with one Dan Campen. And so we went out on Saturday, played a little golf, and I proceeded to play the worst round of the year. But you know what? I looked good because I was wearing my Johnny O polo from Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear. 78th and Dodge is the place where you can go if you want to look like me on the golf course. Don't swing like me, but you can certainly have the same gear. And right now, everything for summer is 20 to 50% off. Still some hot days out there, still some golf days out there. You need to get all the great gear. You can get suits, sport coats, pants, sport shirts, shorts, polos, any of it. 20 to 50% off. 78th and Dodge. That's where the big sale is happening right now. Get in there. Get yourself some good gear. Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear. Dressing Omaha for over 50 years.
Your Omaha area forecast presented by Funplex Water Park and Rides from the KETV Newswatch 7 Weather Center on 1620 The Zone.
Partly sunny and pleasant this evening with the temperatures in the low and mid 70s. Partly cloudy to mostly clear tonight. Drop back in the low 60s for the lows. And then partly sunny on Tuesday. Warmer. Highs in the low to mid 80s. Then storm chances for Tuesday night. I'm Chief Meteorologist Bill Ranby from KETV Newswatch 7.
The local solution. Go with trusted. AX Plumbing is here to help. With over 20 years of serving the metro area, AX Plumbing can do it all, from residential to commercial. They can even help with the new build installation service. Head over to axpservice.com today. There's financing available to qualified buyers and military discount too. Check out axpservice.com today. AX Plumbing. They'll leave your place cleaner than they found it.
The real game changer in college athletics, it's coaches. And at Bellevue University, there is an experienced team of coaches who know you both as an athlete and as a person. Plus, there are student coach advisors who are there to provide individualized academic support every step of the way as you progress towards your degree. At Bellevue University, you're not just another athlete. You belong. We're for you and for college sports. Visit BUBruins.com.
Breaking here at the news desk. When you stack Allo Internet, DirecTV, and mobile, you can lock in your price for 2 years. Sources are confirming that when you stack Allo Internet, DirecTV, and mobile, your monthly price drops and you're locked in for 2 years. That's fiber fast internet, premium streaming TV, and reliable nationwide mobile coverage. And this just in, you must switch by Labor Day to secure that locked-in pricing for 2 years. Switch, stack, and save at allofiber.com/stack.
Life is unpredictable, with seasonal storms and plumbing issues hiding around every corner. You can't predict the future. So when life happens, go with a trusted, reputable company like Paul Davis Restoration. Fire, water, mold, or storm damage can all be restored by Paul Davis Restoration. Don't live in the aftermath of tragedy. Restore your home today. Call Paul Davis Restoration at 402-553-0373 today.
It's golf season, and Jerry Ryan is your one-stop shop to get out on the links this summer. With options from Johnny O, Roan, Peter Millar, and Mizzen and Main, you'll be the sharpest dressed guy in your foursome. Stop in and let John, Dan, Jake, Deanne, and Monir the Tailor get you ready for the golf outing circuit or your big wedding this summer.
At Jerry Ryan's, we bring out the best in you.
When you shop local, you help strengthen our community. So if you need roof repair, gutters, siding, even windows, call local Pyramid Contractors. They're the #1 roofer in Omaha for more than a dozen years. Let Pyramid Contractors come and give you a free estimate. Give them a call at 402-502-9300. That's 402-502-9300. Or visit them online at PyramidRoof.com. Never settle for less.
If you're looking for an authentic Italian experience, look no further than Pasta Amore. For 4 decades, Pasta Amore has been keeping the spark alive for couples in the Omaha area with their homemade pasta, made fresh every day. Our hand-picked selection of exceptional wines will put the nightcap on your evening that you expect. Open every day at 4. Stop by Pasta Amore in Rockbrook Village and enjoy dining in the romantic dining room or relax on our shaded patio.
When you shop local, you help strengthen our community. So if you need roof repair, gutters, siding, even windows, call local Pyramid Contractors. They're the #1 roofer in Omaha for more than a dozen years. Let Pyramid Contractors come and give you a free estimate. Give them a call at 402-502-9300. That's 402-502-9300. Or visit them online at
PyramidRoof.com. Never settle for less.
Now back to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
.626 on a Monday night here on 1620 The Zone, brought to you by Bellevue University. If you're looking for the ideal college experience, head over to bellevue.edu. Register for classes. No class on Fridays. The majority of your schooling can be done online. Check out bellevue.edu and register for classes today. You know who Bellevue will not be playing in the NCAA March Madness tournament, but only 68 other teams will. The NCAA came out today and decided that 68 was the right number for this season. And I think there was just too many moving parts at this late of the process to expand the tournament. Expand the tournament field is no longer being contemplated for the 2026 men and women's basketball championships. However, the committees will continue conversations on whether to recommend expanding to 72 or 76 teams in advance of the 2027 championship. And that comes from the NCAA and Dan Gavitt. Now, listen, you know what this tells me? Enjoy 68.
Yeah.
Because there are way too many parts, and that horse has already left the barn. This is going to be the last year of 68 teams, and this is probably going to get way past 76, in my opinion. I think it's going to go to 84.
I hope not. Look, I don't mind if we have a couple of extra Tuesday play-ins.
Right. Which I think was the original idea. And then somebody went, yeah, but what if we got 10 more in there?
I don't that's not going to affect me a ton. If we get a couple of more play-in games, that's fine. I don't mind. I don't care. Those are, they have a chance to be interesting games. The 11 versus 11 play-in is usually a fun game. Sometimes the 16-16 play-in game is fun because it's weird.
Watch. Yeah.
And if we get a couple of more of those, I don't mind it so much.
I have a request.
If we have an extra entire round of the tournament, that's where I start to have a problem.
I have a request. I don't mind everything you just said. Can we move the entire season up 1 week? Give me a week before Selection Sunday. Come out and do 2 Selection Sundays. On Selection Sunday, reveal all the play-in teams. And then the following Selection Sunday, reveal the entire bracket. Yeah. And that way, when and listen, I know it's not supposed to be about this, but this is what drives the money. It's about the bracket. 90% of the people that watch March Madness that are generating this revenue it's making all you guys all this money only care about that bracket 3 weeks or 3 days out of the year. And if we're gonna do this, let's just go all in for the shtick. Move all you gotta do. That's all you gotta do. Move it up 1 week, and then have the reveal the week after the play-in games. It'll help with travel. It'll allow those teams in the play-in games the rest that they probably need. I think it'll fix everything.
Yeah, I think that my feelings about watering down the championships, and I still think that every conference should have representation. They don't do this thing that college sports seems to want to do now, which is we gotta automatically ensure that our biggest teams are always in.
Yeah,
and I hate that so much.
This is definitely what this is.
That's what I fear, is that we're going to have more than one auto bid per conference is what they want to do.
How do we get a 17 and 16 Texas A&M?
Right. I don't I hate that so much. I hate it for college football. I hate it for college basketball. Just don't change it because you have a cash cow that everyone loves, And as soon as you water it down and make it silly, like I fear that you're going to lose people.
I'm not saying this tongue in cheek. I feel if we're getting close to 80, just let everybody in. Just seed it based on how the regular season goes and let everybody in.
All 356
Because
teams.
what is the difference?
Yeah, I don't like
if we're letting in the majority, if we're letting basically 1/3 of the country in, why not just let everybody in and just play it out? I mean, you want to talk about chaos? That would be complete chaos. If we have like an 8-win team knock you off a 2 seed, like that's what would drive the ratings. But that's never going to happen. So.
I think that the sport, the postseason in college basketball has grown to such a degree where there's so many eyeballs on it and so many people care about it. People take off work on Thursday and Friday.
You should
to stay home all day and watch the games, which is like, come on, man.
We take Thursday and Friday off.
Why do you want to mess with this formula that like you're winning on?
You know why?
Because they think they can bilk a few more dollars out of it.
68 is fine. 68 is where it should stay forever and ever and ever. And I
didn't want it to go off 64.
Yeah, I was going to say, 64. I am probably in the majority of people who would say 64 was a good number where it was. It was easily divisible. There was no confusion. You could fill out your bracket early and actually have it set up with 64 teams.
My least favorite thing about the 16 play-in situation is the majority of those teams are teams that have won their conference.
Yeah.
That have
they all are.
That have automatically qualified to get in. And it just really feels like we're insulting them by doing that. Like they have made their parameters to make the tournament, but because of the conference that they play in, we're still making them play into the tournament.
Yeah.
Like that to me, that should be set aside specifically for non-conference championship teams.
And I've expressed this opinion before too, but honestly, if you're playing in for an 11 seed, you should be in the field.
Agreed. 100%.
There should be no.
If you won your conference, you should be in the field.
There should be no 11 seed play-in game. That sounds ridiculous. If you are worthy of an 11 seed, you should be in.
Yeah, that means 5 other seeds above you don't have to play in.
Right. The 14 seed doesn't have to play in, but the 11 seed does. Why?
Yeah, it doesn't.
What
make
sense does that make?
Hey, you know, it makes perfect sense. Stopping by Timber Woodfire Bistro tonight. If you missed this segment, check it out on our radio replay page on 1620thezone.com. Listen, we got Timber 2 weeks ago. The Timber pie is fantastic. Like my personal favorite pizza in Omaha. It's spicy, it's sweet, and it's savory, all mixed into one. Head over to 87th and Pacific, right across the street from Westside High School. They're open from right now from 5:30 to close tonight at 10 p.m. Grab the Timber pie. It's my personal favorite. They also have the Melanie's meatballs available. They have hand stretch margarita pizza. Happy hour is from 9:30 to 2 as well on Sunday. Stop by after maybe your morning out and grab a mimosa, maybe a mocktail on the way over. Stop by Timber Woodfire Bistro. It's not just lunch or a dinner spot. It's an experience. Stop by Timber tonight. ESPN's top 32 teams that can make the college football playoff. Where did John Schreiner and have our list at? We'll tell you on the other side of the break. 1620 Zone.
New something to see. Every state on the map, a different something to eat.
Hey, everybody, it's John here for Bob at Williams Law. Listen, legal troubles, some of the most stressful things that you can have in your entire life, and especially if it involves one of your kids. Maybe they got in trouble cutting cookies in a parking lot. Maybe they were just hanging out with the wrong crowd and got hemmed up by the law. Whatever it is, Bob can help you out. Don't let those questions weigh on your mind. Sit down with Bob. He'll answer your questions, get you ready for your big day in court, and set your mind at ease. Best part, it's a free, no obligation legal consultation the first time you meet with him. No papers to sign, no money to change hands. You just get your questions answered, and Bob figures out if it's the right relationship for you and for him. If you got legal questions, you need Bob in your corner. WilliamsLawLLC.com.
Heat waves are crashing all over the Midwest. Beat the heat with Controlled Comfort. If your AC is aging and you have concerns, Controlled Comfort is your one-stop shop for all your HVAC issues. Let Controlled Comfort's comfort specialists come out, diagnose your issue, resolve it, or replace that old AC unit with one that'll keep you cool in the months ahead. Head over to ControlledComfort.com today. Controlled Comfort keeps it under control.
Ready to make a positive impact in a young boy's life? Join Big Brothers Big Sisters of the Midlands and become a mentor where you are matched up with a boy in the greater Omaha area. Over 50 boys are waiting for someone like you to guide and inspire them. Visit mentoromaha.org and sign up to make a difference in a boy's life. Don't wait, make a lasting impact today.
Are you ready for the game changer of the day? Bellevue University has a new state-of-the-art 72,000 square foot field house featuring premium courts, generous fan seating, top-tier locker rooms, dedicated athletic training, and a strength and conditioning space, plus a whole lot more. It's not just a venue, it's a home court advantage. We're for you and for college sports. Visit BUBruins.com.
This summer, skip the backyard hassle and let Pepper Jacks do the grilling for you. We're talking hot off the grill flavor. Philly sandwiches, rice bowls, nachos, and more made fresh and fired up just how you like it. Whether you're fueling up after the game or grabbing a bite before you hit the pool, we've got your summer craving covered. Dine in, carry out, or hit up the Pepper Jacks app. No flames at home? No problem. We're grilling all summer long. Pepper Jacks, where flavor takes the field.
Pepper Jack's Grill.
Life is unpredictable, with seasonal storms and plumbing issues hiding around every corner. You can't predict the future. So when life happens, go with a trusted, reputable company like Paul Davis Restoration. Fire, water, mold, or storm damage can all be restored by Paul Davis Restoration. Don't live in the aftermath of tragedy. Restore your home today. Call Paul Davis Restoration at 402-553-0373 today.
Criminal, civil, personal. If you or a loved one is facing a lawsuit, let Williams Law represent you and your family today. With more than 20 years litigation experience in Nebraska, Williams Law will defend you with the dedication you deserve. If you're facing a DUI or if your son or daughter has been accused of a crime, Williams Law is here for you. Call 402-522-6317 to get a free, no-obligation consultation and to get the representation you deserve today.
Ready to make a positive impact in a young boy's life? Join Big Brothers Big Sisters of the Midlands and become a mentor where you are matched up with a boy in the greater Omaha area. Over 50 boys are waiting for someone like you to guide and inspire them. Visit mentoromaha.org and sign up to make a difference in a boy's life. Don't wait, make a lasting impact today.
Now back to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
6:38 on a Monday night edition of the After Hours Lounge, brought to you by Bellevue University. Head over to bellevue.edu and register for classes tonight. ESPN released their top 32 teams who could make the college football playoff. And I'm not going to bore you to tell you about how Penn State and Ohio State and Texas and Oregon and all have a legitimate chance of making the college football
You've got to be kidding me.
Let's get to the meat.
Texas in the college football playoff.
Well, some people think they might not make it. But let's get to the meat and potatoes of this list. I was really surprised that they had Miami at the top in the top 10 of this list. Now, obviously, you get Carson Beck into the equation, but Miami didn't make the college football playoff last year.
Yeah.
And they had the Heisman Trophy winner at quarterback in that situation. If they have another 9 to 10 win season this year, which I think they're going to, I'm going to be really, and they missed the college football playoff, it's going to be really interesting to see how Mario Cristobal is graded / treated in South Beach, because like they've had some good teams. They haven't had great teams. They haven't had the college football playoff run. Won a Heisman Trophy. Didn't really get to the college football playoff.
I'm telling you, I think
not the Heisman Trophy, the first overall pick.
The new coaching metrics for
that was Travis Hunter, by the way.
For the name brand schools, is not how many games you win.
Yeah,
it's whether or not you made the playoff. And I think that's
the Miami Lights are not.
You're
in that realm. Yeah.
And look, that's how NFL coaches are graded, right? Like, how many games did you win? Don't care. How many times did you make the playoffs?
Yeah, and I mean, you're also in the ACC, where you kind of looked at as an easier schedule just based on who you play. And if you got a guy that's getting picked number 1 overall in the draft, and that guy can't get you the college football playoff, there's going to be a lot of doubts that seep into Miami fans.
Well, and the other thing is,
all 9 of them.
just where Miami's located, man, and their history and the amount of talent that's in your backyard. And I think those things all go into that, like, why can't we make the playoff?
And a lot of people
every-
point at Nevin Shapiro and say, well, the only reason they were good back then is because they were getting paid. Well, you can do that now. So,
Miami's a really interesting case. I know we already did our most interesting teams for the season, but Miami,
I have no idea what that team is.
no idea what they're going to look like. No clue.
The team that I think I'm maybe most excited to see what it looks like at the end of the season is a team that ESPN gives a 22% chance of making the college football playoff. That's Kansas State. They obviously get Avery Johnson back, and that's a huge reason why they have them that high of a percentage. But they also give Kansas State a 19.1% chance of winning the Big 12. That's 6% higher than Arizona State, who they have second, that won it last year. And I think Avery Johnson's a dark horse for the Heisman Trophy this year. But I also feel like that's probably the best team in the Big 12 from a talent standpoint. In my opinion, I think Chris Kleiman is also the most underrated coach in the country. Now, a lot of that is because he's at Kansas State and they don't get a lot of attention. And I think he prefers it that way. I think K-State has the best shot to win the Big 12, as does ESPN. And I think we might even be looking at maybe a top 5 or 6 seed in the playoff as well.
Well, I'll lump Kansas and Kansas State in because we're going to talk about Kansas a little bit later. I think you could just throw the Big 12 into these rankings.
The Big 12.
Because it just seems like any one of those teams out of nowhere could jump up and win the conference for no reason at all and be in the
Iowa
playoff.
State's a top 20 team as well. Like there's so many.
You don't know what you're going to get in the post Sanders, Travis Hunter, Colorado. You don't what is BYU going to be? What is Utah going to be?
Can Arizona State find their way back with Sam Leavitt?
Houston, what is Houston? What is West Virginia? You like any of these
Rich Rod's
teams
back at West
could
Virginia
just
now.
somehow pop
Scott
up and win
Frost
the
at
conference.
UCF,
You wouldn't put it past any of them winning the Big 12.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that because as you mentioned, Kansas is on this list. Really surprised they're here after the way last season. And granted, they had to bounce back towards the end of the year, and that's probably got a little bit to do with it.
Yep.
Listen,
They have Jalen Daniels back.
I know, and I love me some Lance Heupel. I don't see any way Kansas is in the college football playoff.
I don't necessarily see it either, but again, it's the Big 12. And we talked about it last year. We've already talked about it this year. That conference is going to be wild and wacky, and we were not wrong last year. I don't think we're going to be wrong
Feels like
this
it's going to
year
be even
either.
crazier this year.
Yeah.
But it's more about, for especially with the Big 12, it's like the believability index. It's
Sure.
like you could
Great
lead me
point.
to believe the majority of the teams in the Big 12 could make it.
Yep.
There are haves and there are have-nots, unfortunately. And it makes no sense.
I could probably make a case for any one of the teams in that conference having a greater than 40% chance of making the playoff.
The team that jumped off of this list to me and made me do my best Tim Allen impersonation, Auburn.
Which was not the one I would have said.
Okay. But
I'll tell you who mine is.
Here's
next.
why it's Auburn. Listen, they've had a ton of acquisition through the transfer portal. They've had a ton of movement. That roster's almost essentially flipped. They have the 14th hardest schedule in the country, according to ESPN's metrics. And they haven't really been able to make it work with Hugh Freeze.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you know this. He's been on a lot of golf courses this offseason. I don't see any situation where Auburn's bringing their head coach back next season.
Sure.
Let alone making the college football playoff.
Yeah, it's tough. I don't know what Auburn's going to look like, and it's the SEC, man. Like, there's a lot of talent in that league, and if you stumble, they are good. It's blood in the water. You know what I mean? If you show a weakness, you are getting exposed.
And we talked about it last week. Florida got their quarterback. DJ Lagway was back at practice today. They have the nation's toughest schedule, according to ESPN as well. So who was the team that jumped off the list to you?
Tennessee at number 10.
I think it's just the Josh Heupel effect. That's the only reason.
Yes. So they have Tennessee with a nearly 39% chance
replacing Nico
of making the playoff. And the question is, do you believe that Joey Aguilar is as good or better than Nico Iamaleava? Like,
no,
you don't believe that.
Name's easier to say though.
And like in the article, it says they return under 40% of their production on offense
for a college football playoff appearance last year.
Yeah, that's not the recipe for getting back. So Tennessee to me is a team that is just primed to miss out.
And we talked about expectations, right? Like when we talked about Miami and Mario Cristobal, how do coaches that make college football playoff start being graded on the seasons that they don't?
Yeah,
that's something that
Yep.
Josh Heupel might have to deal with.
And
this
they and Tennessee plays both Alabama and Georgia. So, I mean, if you figure they're not going to beat either of those teams, they can't lose again.
right? Because
Like,
you're not getting in with 3 losses.
so it doesn't set up for Tennessee.
Which brings us to number 30.
Wow.
The Nebraska Cornhuskers make this list. ESPN gives Nebraska a 10 point, and I thought this was hilarious. I got to point this out. A 10.3% chance of making the college football playoff and a 0.01% chance of winning a national championship.
So you're saying there's a chance.
They wrote this in their article and in their clip about Nebraska, and I think it's a great point. There's a ton that hinges on that Michigan game.
Yeah.
Because if Nebraska gets to 4-0 around here, listen, they've got the brand recognition. They've got a coach that is, and that matters. Like, people don't want to hear that. If you got a coach that is marketable, you got a brand that's marketable, and you got a big fan base, that is going to nudge you to the direction of the top 12 if you can flirt with it. And if they're able to beat Cincinnati, handle business the way they should and on paper, and the way the names on the front of the jersey show up against Houston Christian and Akron, and then Michigan comes down, albeit without Sharon Moore, the naysayers are going to point that out every chance they get. They knock off Michigan. There is going to be expectation of a college football playoff around here, and from a national standpoint. And if you want to hem and haw about that, go back and look at 2016 when Mike Riley had it rolling and they were undefeated. Way prematurely, they got put up at the top 10 of the country, number 7.
Yeah,
and Ohio State went, hold my beer.
Well, if they get to 4-0, you'd expect them to get to 6-0 with Michigan State and Northwestern
Yep.
right after that.
And Maryland.
And then Maryland at 7-0.
Yeah.
So if they're 7-0, they're in the top 10.
Undoubtedly.
Yeah.
And then can you handle business against Minnesota? That trip to Happy Valley happens. Which game am I missing? And then
USC,
Iowa,
UCLA,
UCLA,
Iowa.
yeah. So
The closing stretch is like so fraught with opportunities for failure too.
It is, but I think the only game, and stop me if you've heard this before in this radio station or in this state,
winnable games,
but not even that. But like the only loss that you really pencil in on the schedule for sure is probably Penn State. Like, I don't know if there's anybody else you look at the schedule and say that's for sure now.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong.
But you could also say this team going 7-5 or 5-7 too.
Absolutely. I could be. I mean, anything can happen. The football season plays out.
That's just the anomaly of Nebraska.
Injuries happen. Nebraska happens.
Yeah,
Like,
Nebraska.
yeah. It's interesting. And this list is all teams with a 10% or greater chance of making the playoff. That's what the
32. That's why
based
they stopped at
on the
32.
metrics.
But the 0.01% chance of winning the national championship gave me a little bit of a chuckle.
We're in there. That's what matters. Also, if
We're
I
so
can
back.
give
Plus 15,000, you can bet on Nebraska to win the national title.
my biggest surprise of this whole list is the fact that ESPN put Texas A&M at number 11.
But that's always the discussion, right? I mean, that's like the
Loaded
story.
with talent.
That's the story of Texas A&M football. They're always the week. This could be our year discussion, and it never is.
I get it, but I mean, it's the same thing that we do with Nebraska around here. It's just more localized, but it's a lot of faith.
We don't have oil money.
Oh, it's a lot of faith for a team that lost its last 5 games by a pretty wide margin.
Yeah.
And has the 9th toughest schedule in the country, having to, in a stretch, go to Arkansas, LSU, then to Missouri, have South Carolina at home, and then you get to play your beat up Stanford game. Then you have to go to Texas to end your season, which if
could be, they had the chance to do the funniest thing.
If anything is everything, that will be Texas fans game where they're like, all right, I don't win, lose. Obviously we want to win, but if we can leave these guys bloody and on the field, it's perfectly fine with us.
Well, if Texas is undefeated and you got a chance to cost them the national number 1 seed,
yeah,
that's basically the Christmas morning for Aggie.
That's a Texas A&M national championship.
Then that is true, considering that they're the reason that they actually left a conference to begin with.
Yeah, back to Nebraska's schedule because I want to retcon something. We mentioned Michigan State and Maryland before Northwestern is when they go to Minnesota. It kind of feels like if they get to 5-0 and 6-0 and 7-0, like we mentioned, that Minnesota game becomes the most important game of the season. Because even if you pencil in Penn State as a loss, essentially you have wiggle room. And if you can knock off Minnesota, obviously you still have to go to UCLA, and Iowa looms at the end of the season. Everything we just said about Texas A&M, switch that to Iowa and Nebraska, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You've lost, and granted, different coaching staff, different circumstances, but you lost to this team when they had 36 scholarship guys coming into your gym.
You love to point that out.
Now you have to go to Minneapolis and play that game. And Minnesota may be in a spot where they have a lot to play for at that point too, because their schedule isn't exactly like we just described with Florida State and Texas A&M. I mean, they essentially have to go to Ohio State. And listen, I still think they can lose that Buffalo game, and I'm going to echo that. But if they're able to walk into their home stadium with just one loss on their record, the people in Minneapolis are having the same conversation we're talking about with Nebraska right now.
Yeah. There's a lot of potential stumbling blocks. I mean, we have gone over the metrics and the schedule, and Nebraska's is not super difficult, but
still a Big Ten schedule.
It's still a Big Ten schedule. And like, if you stumble on one of those games where you thought you were in line to win it, how does that affect the psyche of the team? Where does it go in the tank? Is it a rallying point? Like, we don't know. In the past, it has been the start of swirling around the toilet,
right?
When you stumble on one of those games.
Different coaching staff, different circumstances.
Yeah. And if I can for a moment be the glass half full kind of guy here, if we're 6-0,
where you're going there for a second.
Oh, well, that the sniffling in the glass half full should be exactly where I'm going. If we're 6-0 going into Minnesota and we come out of Minnesota 7-0, the only other place that we truly cannot stumble is when we go out to UCLA.
Where's that at?
That is our third to last game.
No, where do they play?
At UCLA in Los Angeles.
Oh, thank you. Okay,
somewhat.
People forget.
Are we sure? No, technically, isn't it in Pasadena?
Technically. So I guess
So
the
Deshaun-
stadium is. I don't know.
Yeah,
the college.
The college is definitely not.
I'm not sure where UCLA is actually located. We have to call Deshaun Foster to actually
He can let
figure
us
that
know.
one
Get a
out.
T-shirt made.
But that is our true final stumbling block of the season, because it seems like national pundit wise, we're basically keyed in for a loss at Penn State, which I'm not going to disagree with whatsoever.
It's like 87% on the metrics for
Yeah.
Penn State.
But if we want to make the college football playoff, that is the final place where we just cannot lose.
Is there a team that you look at and go, I give them 100% chance of making the college football playoff?
100%.
100%.
Clemson.
I don't know. And that's interesting you say that, because let me tell you why I was going to ask. Because I was thinking about this. I think that's what the transfer portal has really done, is taken out the certainty about what we know about teams.
Oh, yeah.
And the one team you can't say that about is the Clemson Tigers.
They're the closest one I can think of to 100%. I still wouldn't give them 100%.
But it's a couple things. It's who their roster is, as well as they play in the ACC. So, because I think the consensus would probably be Texas and Penn State to some degree, but there's the James Franklin of it, and it's still an SEC schedule, and one injury could change the whole narrative for Texas.
If Arch Manning gets injured in the fourth game of the season,
Quinn Ewers isn't walking through those doors.
Nope. If he goes down and they're without their starting quarterback, their percentage drops from like 95 to like 60 instantly.
Yeah, probably maybe even lower. Hey, we got to get to the social media soundbite. If you missed our thoughts on the college football playoff and who could be in it, check it out on our radio replay page on 1620thezone.com. It was brought to you by Controlled Comfort Heating and Air. It's almost fall. That means you need to get a maintenance appointment set up with your HVAC unit. Be prepared so you're not freezing this winter, and also make sure that your AC unit's going to be able to hold up through the rest of the summer and warmer months as well. Head over to controlledcomfort.com. Set up a maintenance appointment so you can have peace of mind about your furnace and your AC as it gets cold and hot and cold and hot and cold and hot. Head over to controlledcomfort.com tonight. What's trending on social media? John Schreiner lets us know, along with Dan Camping on the other side of the break. 1620 Zone.
Hope I got some brothers that outlive me.
Hey, everybody, it's John Schreiner here for Paul Davis Restoration. You probably noticed that there's been a lot of rain in the area over the last couple of days. And how's your basement doing? Is it a little damp down there? Are you worried that maybe there's a leak? You're worried about some mold that might be building up because of some dampness. Have you got some smoke damage because you burned the chicken? Well, I'm here to tell you not to worry. All you got to do is call this number right here, and you can get that fixed up right away. And that number is 402-522-6317. That's how you get in touch with Paul Davis Restoration. Put that number in your phone, store it, save it, because when emergency strikes, you need that number to get them out to your place in a flash and get that damage fixed up to the way it was before it ever happened. Paul Davis, they are the restoration experts, and they can help you out no matter what the damage is to your home. 402-553-0373 for Paul Davis Restoration.
Are you dreaming of your business dominating local Google searches, drawing in customers effortlessly? Look no further. I'm Courtney, the Google gal from Pixel Fire Marketing. Need assistance with your Google business profile? From verification to getting more reviews, fixing maps to tackling annoying Google calls? I've got you covered. Your profile sets you apart and ensures you're the top choice for local customers. Visit fixmygbp.com for our $297 special offer. Visit fixmygbp.com for more details.
Are you watching the water slowly seep down the drain again? Go with a local solution. Go with Trusted. AX Plumbing is here to help. With over 20 years of serving the metro area, AX Plumbing can do it all, from residential to commercial. They can even help with the new build installation service. Head over to axpservice.com today. There's financing available to qualified buyers and military discount too. Check out axpservice.com today. AX Plumbing. They'll leave your place cleaner than they found it.
This summer, skip the backyard hassle and let Pepper Jacks do the grilling for you. We're talking hot off the grill flavor. Philly sandwiches, rice bowls, nachos, and more made fresh and fired up just how you like it. Whether you're fueling up after the game or grabbing a bite before you hit the pool, we've got your summer craving covered. Dine in, carry up, or hit up the Pepper Jacks app. No flames at home? No problem. We're grilling all summer long. Pepper Jacks, where flavor takes the field.
Pepper Jack's Grill.
It's golf season, and Jerry Ryan is your one-stop shop to get out on the links this summer. With options from Johnny O, Roan, Peter Millar, and Mizzen and Main, you'll be the sharpest dressed guy in your foursome. Stop in and let John, Dan, Jake, Deanne, and Monir the Tailor get you ready for the golf outing circuit or your big wedding this summer.
At Jerry Ryan's, we bring out the best in you.
The real game changer in college athletics, it's coaches. And at Bellevue University, there is an experienced team of coaches who know you both as an athlete and as a person. Plus, there are student coach advisors who are there to provide individualized academic support every step of the way as you progress towards your degree. At Bellevue University, you're not just another athlete. You belong. We're for you. And for college sports, visit BUBruins.com.
When you shop local, you help strengthen our community. So if you need roof repair, gutters, siding, even windows, call local Pyramid Contractors. They're the #1 roofer in Omaha for more than a dozen years. Let Pyramid Contractors come and give you a free estimate. Give them a call at 402-502-9300. That's 402-502-9300. Or visit them online at
PyramidRoof.com. Never settle for less.
Criminal, civil, personal. If you or a loved one is facing a lawsuit, let Williams Law represent you and your family today. With more than 20 years litigation experience in Nebraska, Williams Law will defend you with the dedication you deserve. If you're facing a DUI or if your son or daughter has been accused of a crime, Williams Law is here for you. Call 402-522-6317 to get a free, no-obligation consultation and to get the representation you deserve today.
You are listening to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
6:59 on a Monday night edition of the After Hours Lounge, brought to you by Bellevue University. If you're looking for the ideal college experience, head over to bellevue.edu and register for classes tonight. No classes on Friday. The majority of your schooling done online and live sports right on Bellevue's campus for you to attend games. Dan Campion to the driver's seat tonight. as he always is.
We don't have interns anymore.
That's right.
That is true.
Real quick, let's make that announcement. If you have a high school age senior that is interested in learning about radio, and you think Dan Campen just looks like a swell guy to come hang out with, and would like them to learn under the tutelage,
He is a swell guy to come hang out with.
Hit us up at After Hours 1620 on Twitter. Call us 402-951-1620. Dan, do you want to give out your personal cell phone number?
No, not really.
Okay, well, in that case, that's the way to get a hold of us if you have an intern that.
The only way I'll give out my personal cell phone number is if Theo calls me and verifies that he is Theo.
And not me.
Exactly. Yes.
Dan's personal cell phone number is 402. No, I'm just kidding. What do we got for the social media soundbite tonight?
Well, in a season that is dominated by what's going to happen in the upcoming football season, we have to remember that there are other sports that happen.
No, there's not.
And they do involve Nebraska athletes.
Ooh.
Yeah, surprisingly enough. And no, it is not going to be what some people out there in Radio Land are thinking it's going to be right now. Let's take a listen.
Is this the 400?
No, this is actually the high jump.
Oh, okay.
Tyus Wilson clears 2.27 meters. That is 7 feet, 5 inches and 1/4 in freedom units at the USATF Outdoor Championships. And he actually won the national title and was the only one to clear that height.
Well, congratulations to him. That's a huge deal. I thought you were going with women's bowling. Have you heard the news about women's bowling?
I have heard the news about women's bowling.
Do you know about Nebraska women's bowling, John Schreiber?
I know
Have you
about
seen
them.
this?
I
Have you
haven't
heard
heard
about this?
I haven't heard the news.
They are moving conferences. They're affiliated now with Conference USA.
Oh.
So Nebraska, Conference USA, handshake me. Not the conference realignment you thought you were going to have today. Really interesting note. Nebraska football just released a video a few minutes ago. I say a few minutes ago. It's about an hour ago. Of guys in the weight room. And Demetrius Bell is in there getting in work. So a guy that we brought up in the first segment. And his injury is apparently back on campus and doing some work in the weight room. Mitch Sherman just retweeted that out. So, but yeah, very cool. The young man's name again, Dan? Sorry. Tyus
Wilson.
Tyus Wilson. Congratulations to him and good luck. It sounds like the Junior Olympics. Is that what they said was next?
No, so it'll be World Championships in Tokyo, Japan.
Well, good for him. Congratulations. And track still matters, even if it's AM radio. Hey, if you missed the social media soundbite tonight, check it out on our radio replay page on 1620thezone.com. Brought to you by Pixel Fire Marketing. If your business needs help with social media marketing or online advertising, Pixel Fire Marketing has an entire team here to manage your social media profile. Head over to pixelfiremarketing.com. Work with an advertising agency right here in Omaha. Check out pixelfiremarketing.com for more details tonight. We buy or sell on baseball in racetracks. When we come back, 1620 Zone. Hey, everybody, it's Jimmy Allen here for AX Plumbing. Home or residential, they can do it all. They've helped me out a ton. They put a urinal in my business. They fixed a wax ring under the toilet in my house. They made sure they came out and did a water jetting process to remove all the debris from our main line in our home as well. If you have big plumbing problems but not big plumbing money, head over to axpservice.com tonight. They're going to help you out with financing that's available right on the website. There's also a discount for current and former military members as well as first responders. Check out axpservice.com and get your big plumbing problems fixed tonight.
Heat flames are crashing all over the Midwest. Beat the heat with Controlled Comfort. If your AC is aging and you have concerns, Controlled Comfort is your one-stop shop for all your HVAC issues. Let Controlled Comfort's comfort specialists come out, diagnose your issue, resolve it, or replace that old AC unit with one that'll keep you cool in the months ahead. Head over to ControlledComfort.com today.
Controlled Comfort keeps it under control.
Is the Force strong with you? Find out this July with Project Solo. Find your favorite Star Wars cans of your favorite Coke products through July 31st. Stop by your local Hy-Vee and pick up 12 packs of Coke for just $3.99 when you purchase 4 between July 2nd through the 6th. Also pick up half-liter 6-packs with your favorite Star Wars characters for $3.99. 16-ounce body armor or 28-ounce Powerade singles, just $1 all month long. Hy-Vee and Chesterman Coca-Cola, creating Jedi all over Nebraska.
Breaking here at the news desk. When you stack Allo Internet, DirecTV, and mobile, you can lock in your price for 2 years. Sources are confirming that when you stack Allo Internet, DirecTV, and mobile, your monthly price drops and you're locked in for 2 years. That's fiber fast internet, premium streaming TV, and reliable nationwide mobile coverage. And this just in, you must switch by Labor Day to secure that locked-in pricing for 2 years. Switch, stack, and save at allofiber.com/stack.
At Timber, they don't just give you a place to go for lunch or dinner. They give you an experience. From their bold, smoky flavors prepared in the open concept kitchen where you get to watch the magic happen to the relaxing umbrella-shaded patio. There's something for everyone at Timber. Join them for brunch every Saturday and Sunday from 9:30 to 2, plus happy hour from 2 to 5:30 Monday through Saturday, and 2 to close on Sunday. Timberwood Fire Bistro in the heart of Omaha at 84th and Pacific.
When you shop local, you help strengthen our community. So if you need roof repair, gutters, siding, even windows, call local Pyramid Contractors. They're the #1 roofer in Omaha for more than a dozen years. Let Pyramid Contractors come and give you a free estimate. Give them a call at 402-502-9300. That's 402-502-9300. Or visit them online at
PyramidRoof.com. Never settle for less.
KOZ and Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620, The Zone.
Top of the second hour here on 1620 The Zone. This is going to be a lot more interesting
Oh,
buy or
boy.
sell segment than we originally thought. We are brought to you by Pyramid Contractors. If you're looking for a free estimate for your windows, your roof, your gutters, your siding, they do it all. Check out pyramidroof.com tonight. Dan, I hate to steal buy or sell away from you, but can you start with number 2 for
Are we
us?
doing a Ross Geller?
Let's pivot and start with number 2.
Indeed, we will. Shedeur Sanders told reporters that he does not want his father around camp, saying, "I want to get where I want to go first." Buy or sell, this was a smart move by the junior Shedeur.
Obviously, there's been a lot going on with his father
Yeah.
anyway and his health concerns. Probably more of the reason but listen, there's already enough of a media circus around him. But John, you have some breaking news about the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, so a couple of things that
Thanks,
Shefty has tweeted out in the last hour.
That's Adam Scheffler for all you noobs.
The first thing he put out was the Browns have released their first depth chart of the season, and we have an order of the quarterbacks in Cleveland.
And it's exactly how you would have
guessed. Joe Flacco 1, Kenny Pickett 2, Dylan Gabriel 3, Shedeur Sanders 4. But
and by all the accounts coming out of camp, that's the way that the reps have been distributed.
Yeah.
That's not the news.
The news is that Kenny Pickett and Dylan Gabriel both have hamstring injuries, and Shedeur Sanders is dealing with shoulder pain. So the Browns have signed Tyler Huntley to come into camp.
Snoop. People forget about Snoop Huntley.
So now they have 5 quarterbacks in their training camp. And
it doesn't look good for Shedeur Sanders.
Doesn't look good for Shedeur Sanders at all.
If you get cut by the Cleveland Browns, do you actually win?
You
That's
might.
the question we need to ask. All right, Dan, what's number 1?
I actually feel like you would win if you got cut by
Oh no,
the Cleveland Browns. Oh no, I have to leave Cleveland.
The only person that doesn't want that
I
happen.
can go sign with any team I want now.
That's the only person that doesn't seem to want that to happen is Myles Garrett because he just wants all the money.
Even if Shedeur gets cut by the Browns, he's going to land on somebody's practice squad.
Yeah,
somebody's going to pick him up.
And let's be fair, Myles Garrett at the end of last season was like, "I would like to leave," and Cleveland was like, "No, you don't. No, you don't. We got millions for you, buddy." All right, number 1.
You're gonna lose forever.
You're going to be great on a terrible team. The Speedway Classic was this weekend, and it was a bit of a disaster with the rain delay at Bristol. Then the mud pit of an infield got delayed to Sunday, got Ellie De La Cruz stuck in pickles, and a lot of action on Sunday. Buy or sell, the MLB should do more games like this.
Listen, this was an absolute S show. It absolutely was. But this was totally fun. Like the car going around the track with the flag outside. Looked like the dude's arm was going to rip off while he was doing it. The home runs into the pit. This looked cool. It didn't work this time. Doesn't mean it can't work next time. I liked that. I thought it was awesome.
They should do more weird games.
This is great.
They do the Field of Dreams game on that tiny field in Iowa. They should do more. They should play in a football stadium. I mean, Oakland did it forever.
Yeah, bring it back.
Yeah. Make football players play on the dirt infield. Why not? Yeah, I think it's fun. It's cool. It shows a little bit of a progressive attitude by MLB, which we don't get very often.
I felt so bad for that grounds crew, though, because, man, that was a nightmare.
No, I think it's cool. They should do it more often.
I'm of the opposite volition. I think that baseball should be played in baseball stadiums. It just is a lot easier. And there are professional ground crews who are actually prepared for the weather. And also, there are people who actually understand how the agronomy of their own stadium works.
That's a good point.
Instead of trying to put a baseball field into a NASCAR infield.
What else we got, Dan?
Saquon Barkley is coming off a season in which he touched the ball a whopping 482 times between the regular season and the postseason. Buy or sell, we should expect a drop off from the reigning NFL rushing leader.
You spelled reigning wrong, first of all. Secondly, I mean, there's got to be I know save your New York Giants GM jokes here, but there's eventually he's gonna see some slowness game. I know. That whole Eagles offensive line is back. They're all really good. They're super talented. AJ Brown's dealing with a minor injury right now, but eventually time's gonna catch up to him, right?
I'm gonna buy simply because it's going to be really hard to do better than he did last year. We don't see guys go for 2,000 yards in back-to-back seasons. We just don't see it.
He's still not old yet. He's only 28.
I understand that. But honestly, if he does better, it will be like an all-time 2-year run.
Yeah, it'll be. I'm going to say it's going to be the best 2 years we've ever seen.
And so, yeah, I think even a slight drop-off is still totally acceptable and understandable.
I just in general hope there's a drop off because we can't keep being tortured by Saquon Barkley every week.
Yeah, dude's amazing.
If you're going to be that good at running the football, there should be some precautionary measures for your DNA.
He can't do that. That's illegal. What?
He's
that
too good. Let's see where we're. Oh,
we're
yeah,
number
that's
4.
Right. Number 4. As everyone knows, we are the authority on high school sports.
Yeah, we are.
So we have some high school topics to buy or sell on tonight. This weekend, we didn't get a final in Legion baseball. According to friend of the show, Mike Patterson of the Omaha World Herald, the National Legion Committee ruled that a Lincoln Southwest player was ineligible and that Papio South would move on to play Lincoln East for the Class A championship. The Titans forfeited the game, which made Lincoln East the champs. Buy or sell, this was the right move by the committee.
Listen, according to the rules, and if there's a player ineligible, it was the right move. But here's the thing, man. There are some really weird rules about Legion baseball. Players can't go play travel ball, even if they go to the school and are of the right age, and then come back and play in their Legion team. Even if they go to the high school, they're of the age to attend and play high school baseball games. I from a standpoint of you're trying to have the competitive edge of we saw this team earlier and it's the same team. I get that. That's a big deal in baseball. But if it's a right-handed pitcher that just happened to be on holiday with his family somewhere and he's coming, I don't know if this is the situation. This is probably not what happened, but that, and he played a travel game while he was there. Maybe I just think if he's a kid at the school, I think he should be able to play Legion baseball. I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah. And look, I'm not going to pretend that I know all the eligibility rules for Legion baseball
because there's 9 million of them, by the way.
But
there's an entire committee put in place to honor these rules, by the way.
Here's the thing is if you sign up to participate in a league or an organization or whatever, if you don't know the rules, you expect that your team, whoever's running your team, should know the rules.
Right.
And they should be able to tell you hey, we'd love to have you on the team, but you're ineligible.
Right.
If they don't know, we have a problem. If they can't understand the rules, if your team, the people running your team that you're trying to play for, don't understand the rules enough to tell you whether you're eligible or not, then we have one of two problems. One, we have incompetent people running your team,
which is probably not the case.
I'm not saying that's the case.
Yeah.
Or we have a rules environment that's so complicated that it's hard for people to understand.
It's probably that latter one, by the way.
So, according to the rules, the committee made the ruling that they felt was correct. I can't fault them for that.
No, not at all.
But if the rules are so complicated that people can't understand them, what are we actually doing?
There's a lot of them too. Like if you just want a reason to hate your life, go Google the Legion Baseball eligibility rules. There's a lot. I tried diving into this. I got to page like 7 and I was like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, that's we had a kid, well, another man at my high school, boy at my high school, who him and I, grade apart, but born on the exact same day. It's that weird cutoff that you get where it's
at the end of October.
Yeah, where it's like you're
I remember
sort
Dan's
of old,
birthday.
you're sort of young, kind of weird thing. And we both grew up in the same place at one point in time. So it was like the cutoff that we had was early and late and all this crap. But he was able to play Legion baseball after graduating high school because he was underneath the age requirement portion of it.
Yeah, there's age
But
and
now-
grade restrictions. It's the weirdest thing.
But now it raises so many weird questions because he actually went off to like a small D3 school and he played for their baseball team at the collegiate level. And then he came back in the summer and played for our Legion baseball team.
Get in some swings. Dan, ask question number 5, then go get our next guest.
Oh, they're here?
Yes.
Lovely. Can I give something really quick then?
Yes.
The gentleman who I'm about to reference gave an interview to KETV and said he's only interested in one school. Cha-ching. We talked about this on Friday with Brian Munson, but Torrey Pittman III of Omaha Central is given a 5th star. This puts him among the ranks of the nation's best high school football players. Buy or sell, the Central standout deserved the 5-star rating.
Absolutely. I've been clamoring
Darn
about this for a while. Torrey Pittman has everything. He has the measurables. He's got the speed. He's got the talent. He's got the tape. He is a slam dunk 5-star football player. It's absolutely deserved.
I sell. Because he deserved it a while ago for everything you just said. I mean, we've had these conversations off here. We've had these conversations with Brian Munson, and we've had these conversations with his head football coach at Central when we talked to Terrence Mackey. Like, he's the real deal. And we had the same conversation with Christian Jones at Omaha West Side. Like, we didn't understand what the powers that be that Rivals and On3 or 24/7 or whoever about why it was taking so long for them to be and probably a lot of the reasons the state that they play in, right? I mean, haven't had too many of those prospects come out of the state. I thought it was a no-brainer before it happened, and congratulations to Torrey. He clearly deserves it, and I'm really excited to see what he does in his final year in a Central jersey as well. If you missed our buy or sell tonight, check it out on our radio replay page on 1620thezone.com. It was brought to you by Controlled Comfort Heating and Air. If you are worried about last time you turned on your furnace, don't even remember when it was, or maybe your air conditioner starting to make a weird clinking sound, you need to head over to controlledcomfort.com tonight. Get a maintenance appointment set up. They're going to come out. They're going to give you peace of mind about your entire HVAC unit. Make sure the blower and your heater is still working. Make sure your air conditioner is not only going to get you through the month of August, make sure it fires up when it gets hot next year as well. Head over to controlledcomfort.com and set up that maintenance appointment. Get peace of mind about your HVAC system tonight. We're going to catch up with Tim Yonkin, the head coach of the Omaha Creighton Prep Junior Jays, on the other side of the break. 1620 Zone. Hey everybody, it's Jimmy Allen here for Bob Williams with Williams Law. Do you or your son or daughter need somebody to defend you in a big day in court? Your kid doesn't get in trouble, right? He never hangs out with the wrong crowd. Maybe that's not the case this summer. If your kid's been in a parking lot doing some cookies or just been in the passenger seat with somebody that's making some bad decisions, now they find themselves facing litigation, you need to head over to WilliamsLawLLC.com tonight. Bob and his team are going to give you a free, no obligation legal consultation. They're going to sit you down, explain your rights, and walk you through the process. Make sure you or your son or daughter are ready for their big day in court. Head over to WilliamsLawLLC.com tonight.
Your Omaha area forecast presented by Funplex Water Park and Rides from the KETV Newswatch 7 Weather Center on 1620 The Zone.
Partly sunny and pleasant this evening with the temperatures in the low and mid 70s. Partly cloudy to mostly clear tonight. Drop back in the low 60s for the lows, and then partly sunny on Tuesday. Warmer. Highs in the low to mid 80s. Then storm chances for Tuesday night. I'm Chief Meteorologist Bill Ranby from KETV News Watch 7.
Are you watching the water slowly seep down the drain again? Go with a local solution. Go with Trusted. AX Plumbing is here to help. With over 20 years of serving the metro area, AX Plumbing can do it all, from residential to commercial. They can even help with the new build installation service. Head over to axpservice.com today. There's financing available to qualified buyers and military discount too. Check out axpservice.com today. AX Plumbing. They'll leave your place cleaner than they found it.
Ready to make a positive impact in a young boy's life? Join Big Brothers Big Sisters of the Midlands and become a mentor where you are matched up with a boy in the greater Omaha area. Over 50 boys are waiting for someone like you to guide and inspire them. Visit mentoromaha.org and sign up to make a difference in a boy's life. Don't wait. Make a lasting impact today.
Are you ready for the game changer of the day? Bellevue University has a new state-of-the-art 72,000 square foot field house featuring premium courts, generous fan seating, top-tier locker rooms, dedicated athletic training, and a strength and conditioning space, plus a whole lot more. It's not just a venue, it's a home court advantage. We're for you and for college sports. Visit BUBruins.com.
Life is unpredictable, with seasonal storms and plumbing issues hiding around every corner. You can't predict the future. So when life happens, go with the trusted, reputable company like Paul Davis Restoration. Fire, water, mold, or storm damage can all be restored by Paul Davis Restoration. Don't live in the aftermath of tragedy. Restore your home today. Call Paul Davis Restoration at 402-553-0373 today.
Rail Cars Happy Hour is here.
Stop by 144th and Blondo Monday through Saturday from 2:30 p.m. to 6 p.m. and Sunday from 2 to close, and enjoy $2 to $5 off appetizers, $1 off draft and bottles of beer, and delicious ciders. All signature cocktails are $10. Classic cocktails are $8. And every glass of wine is $2 off. Plus, Rail Cars' incredible brunch menu is on display 9:30 to 2 Saturday and Sunday.
Rail Car Modern American Kitchen.
144th and Blondo.
This is the Chef of Love, Chef Jannard, TV host and restaurateur. My grandparents harvested their land to sell food and share this overflowing bounty with our community. Grandma said, for every yam we pick, we give one away. In the world they cultivated, I love preparing and eating dinner with my family on Sundays. When our resources changed, food assistance programs sustained us. They gave me fuel to start my first culinary business at 16 years old, and inspiration to donate the extra food in my community. Through my life, I've developed an appetite to work with others to ensure everyone has access to the nutritious food we need to thrive. Together, we can help end hunger. Come on, join the movement with Feeding America by volunteering, donating, and advocating. Learn more at feedingamerica.org/act now.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Ready to make a positive impact in a young boy's life? Join Big Brothers Big Sisters of the Midlands and become a mentor where you are matched up with a boy in the greater Omaha area. Over 50 boys are waiting for someone like you to guide and inspire them. Visit mentoromaha.org and sign up to make a difference in a boy's life. Don't wait. Make a lasting impact today.
You're listening to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
7:23 on a Monday night edition of the After Hours Lounge. I've almost said every other day of the week other than Monday night, by the way. We are brought to you by Pyramid Contractors. You don't become number one in Omaha for over a decade by accident. Head over to pyramidroof.com. Get a free estimate for your windows, your roof, your gutters, your siding. They could do it all. Check out pyramidroof.com tonight. Tim Young, the head coach of the Omaha Creighton Prep Junior Jays, is in studio. He's brought his team with us tonight. Vincent Saul, Angelo Walker, and Jake Brocker with us tonight. We'll get to the players in a minute. Coach, welcome in. Thanks for being here.
Oh, thanks a lot for having us again this year.
I'm glad we could pull you away from Lake Okoboji for just a few minutes of your time.
Yeah, no, it's been good. Yeah, it's football time now.
Hey, 3-1 to start the season a year ago, but you finish 4-6. What changed after that Millard West game last year for you guys?
We lost some close games. I think the one area that we'll be better at in terms of depth this year and really overall skill is in our offensive and defensive lines. And I think it's an area that the guys that are going to play for us this year in there have played a lot of football for us. I mean, we've just had to play some guys when they were younger, and those guys have grown up, and they look like Metro offensive linemen and defensive linemen now. And so that part of it probably was, a little bit of what, kind of hurt us going down the stretch there a little bit. One of the better games that we played all year was in the playoffs against Elkhorn South. We lose 14-7, and our big kids played pretty well that night. But I think our team will have a huge increase in production on both sides of the ball because of the guys up front.
From the perspective of knowing the way you like to play the game, very physical, like to be good on the lines. With the way the game has sort of evolved, we see 3 safety looks. We see teams wanting to throw the ball a lot. Is it ever a difficult sell for you to tell kids how you want to play the game?
Well, I don't think so. I think the kids that we get at Creighton Prep, I mean, and these 3 guys are perfect examples of that. I mean, they're culture guys. I mean, they come to Creighton Prep to play football, but they also come because it's a great academic institution. And so there's a lot of opportunity at Creighton Prep outside of athletics as well, in terms of formation and turning boys into young men. And I think that's something that our guys really kind of buy into. And our culture is our culture. I mean, it's we over me is a mantra that we have, and you've got to buy into our system. And I mean, we've had success in the 8 years that I've been at Creighton Prep, and these guys have bought into that success and bought into our program, and they've been nothing but tremendous leaders for us since they've really been at Creighton Prep.
Well, that's an interesting thing to talk about too, because I mean, John just talked about the way football has changed. What has changed about the coaching aspect of it at Prep since from obviously when you walked in the door 8 years ago to this season, in your opinion?
Oh, I don't know if it's changed a lot. I think there's just a lot more parity in Class A football around. I mean, there's way more schools in the western part of the city.
We've added 2 just in the last 4 years.
Yeah, I mean, so that continues to be something that I think we battle every year, trying to get as many great kids to Creighton Prep that fit Creighton Prep, right? I mean, not every young man out there is a great fit at Creighton Prep, and so you have to understand when you go out and you talk to kids about coming to Creighton Prep, you have to understand that being a student athlete is really of importance. And so that's those are the kind of great kids that we get.
You've had some construction projects over there off of
just a few.
72nd Street. What have you seen in terms of the upgrade in facilities?
It's tremendous. I mean, the old cinder track and grass field north of our building right now is a championship 8-lane track and field facility, field turf football field and soccer field, press box, and we'll actually play De Smet Jesuit there August 30th at 1:00 on that Saturday afternoon coming up. And
we talked to you about that last year. How did that game come about?
Yeah, we didn't fare well, but they
no, like how did the scheduling?
How did it
come about?
Yeah, no, it was a game where since I've been at Prep, I've been trying to find an out-of-state game with another Jesuit high school somewhere. We've always looked to Rockhurst. Rockhurst is, just haven't matched up schedule-wise because of where we're a 2-year, schedule, and sometimes it's off by a year. So De Smet, when we were looking, a year and a half ago, they heard that we were looking, and so they kind of reached out. Doc Schinzel reached out to their AD then back and kind of started that conversation. You have to talk to the NSAA because that has to work into their plans as well. So it's a lot more to it than just, hey, we don't want to play a game.
We got some lines
right?
on
Type
the field.
of deal. And so to be able to get that game is tremendous. I mean, tremendous program. They were the large school class state champion in Missouri last year, and they were really good. And they'll bring another really good team to Omaha this year. And so, that's something I think we're going to continue to look at doing, is trying to play an out-of-state Jesuit school. And there's some talks with some other Jesuit schools for our next 2-year cycle, actually, right now that we have on the line. So we'll see where that kind of goes.
Coach, we appreciate you. We'll talk to your players now. Vincent Saul is with us tonight. Vinny, go ahead and step up and grab the mic. Yeah, football, track, and prep while maintaining a 4.2 GPA. How have you been able to stay so active, but also maintain, as Coach said, being a student athlete first while at Prep?
Yeah, as Coach Young said, we have great academics at Prep, and I think it really comes down to the teachers we have and our block scheduling. they just do a great job of helping us out, having 4 classes a day, going into the next day prepared, and getting help whenever we're needed. Coaches help us out too with the practice schedules.
You can pull that mic up; it moves. There you go.
And they really just help us out with everything we're able to do. Our teachers, and then obviously our coaches. So.
There's obviously a lot of history with prep football, all sports at prep, honestly. But I wonder what's your relationship with the history? Sort of, how much do you get into the lore and the mystique of the program?
Yeah. Obviously, prep's been a historically championship level team, and just from my standpoint, I've had 3 older brothers who came through prep, and my oldest one didn't play football until his senior year. And he told me and my young other brother that his bigger regret was not playing freshman football.
Oh, wow.
So he kind of got us into that. And then just my sophomore year, I was able to play with my brother who was a senior. And that was just one of the most special moments to have that experience with them and share that moment on the field with them.
When we talked to Coach about some of the results on the negative side of things last year. What's something you've seen for this defense this year that makes you feel like 2025 could take a turn in the other direction and finish out with a much stronger finish this year?
Yeah, I think just our leadership from the senior level to the juniors to even some of the sophomores, and the coaches just really have been pushing us this summer to work our hardest. And I've noticed this year has been a lot different than the past couple of years with our energy in the weight room and on the field doing conditioning. And I think it's just kudos to the coaches and everything and how hard they push us and just coming in every day with a positive attitude, waking up every day early and getting after it. So
you play corner. Yep. We know corners have to be fast and they need to have good hips. That's what we hear in all the recruiting stuff. That's what we hear most often. So you're going into your 3rd year as a starter. What's something you value about cornerback play, and what do you pride yourself on?
Yeah, I think Coach D, our corners coach, prides our corners in physicality on the line and just making sure that you give our safety some help if we're in a zone look, giving them the time they need to get over in coverage. And I think, that's just the biggest thing. Obviously, staying fast is one of them, but physical is probably the most important thing in high school football, just keeping the receivers on their toes, not letting them get free routes.
What does life after high school look like for you?
Yeah, I'm going to just decide. I want to see how this season goes.
Sure.
Take it day by day, talking to some colleges about football. And, I'm just not going to look too far ahead in the future. Just going to take it day by day.
Do you know what you'd like to study at the next level?
Yeah, I think I'm going into business.
I'd say
So
4.2 GPA. I'm sure you got the college portion of it figured out.
Yeah,
well,
so
good luck with that this fall, and good
Thank you
luck
for having
when you make your decisions. Thanks for being here, man. Angela, we'll go over to you as well. We're catching up with the Creighton Prep Junior Jays, and Angela Walker's in studio with us tonight. When we talk about being good at your position, what is the key for you in being a good outside linebacker, not only in football, but in this defense specifically at Prep?
Yeah, no, I feel like being a good linebacker in our defense just comes down to really knowing our assignment, going into each game, just setting yourself up to be able to play fast. You got to be able to play both the ball on the ground and in the air. And most importantly, just trusting in the game plan that our coaches have put in for us to succeed.
So we got about, 3.5 weeks left until we get into the season. What's your focus right now? What are you trying to get done before we start?
Yeah, these last 3 weeks, I've really just kind of been focused on locking in, making sure I know both the offense and defensive side of the playbook, just doing what I have to make sure my body's in the best shape, ready to perform at the highest level. And kind of on the second, just kind of being a mentor to those underneath me, whether it's helping them out with schemes or whatever, just being there to make sure we're all ready to roll for game one.
What defines success for this defense this year?
Success for defense this year, I feel like it's just going to have to be us all playing together, all 11 halves of the ball, getting off the field on 3rd down, causing turnovers, and even scoring on defense when we can. It's about making limited mistakes and making sure everyone knows their assignment so we can play fast and play prep defense.
We've talked about this with the various Creighton Prep teams we've had in, but the Prep West Side rivalry.
Are they rivals?
We talk about it all the time, but I think it bears repeating because it's such a big thing. There's so much attention on it. And when that game comes around, what's it like for you?
Yeah, no, the Prep West Side game is always a good game. Definitely one of the favorite ones I play in. There's always a lot of hype around it. It's always going to be a good physical game. I'm ready for it.
Do you have the best hair on the team?
Oh, for sure.
What does life after high school look like for you?
After high school, I plan to continue playing at the next level. Though I haven't made a decision yet, I'm focused on this season, just ready to see what opportunities may open after.
What school do you not want to go to? No, you don't have to answer. I'm just kidding. Angela, thanks for being here tonight, man. We appreciate it. Good luck this fall. Good stuff. Yeah, but Jake Brock is with us tonight as well. Jake, you throw shot put as well as play football. What is we've talked to a ton of track guys about this. What is it about shot that helps you also on the gridiron and vice versa?
I really think for shot, just when you practice for shot, you really like work on explosiveness and just staying low in that technique. And then when you're playing position like O-line, D-line, we're getting off the ball and just like leverage is like two key things. It just really correlates between each other.
Coach says you got the inside track to start at center this year, and center is often called the quarterback of the offensive line, which is weird because you snap the ball to the actual quarterback. But in your opinion, how much work is it, extra work is it to be that quarterback of the offensive line?
Yeah, there's definitely some extra work. Just kind of all the responsibilities the center has more than like the guard and tackle. Not saying that not as hard, but I really think there's some extra pressure on you. You start the play, if you don't got a good snap or something, it just plays off already. But Coach Bober, my coach at Prep, he's really got me ready.
We
for
know
the
him.
season.
He give you money to say.
Great guy.
He give you money to say his name.
Yeah. But no, he's a great coach. He's gonna be ready for this season. I'm really excited for it.
You played some defensive line. You're making the move over to offensive line. Why was center and playing on the offensive side of the ball your passion? And don't say because that's where we score touchdowns.
Say that. I got a history for my family at least. My dad played center. I played center when I was 7th, 8th grade. So I got some history in it, but it's a fun position to play. Just every play, just get to play and pancake people. That's a fun spot to play.
Absolutely.
We know Coach loves the ground game. What's the best part about playing in this offense?
Oh, just the physicality. Just like every play, we're gonna run it. Well, not every, but we're gonna be a physical team.
Come on, so the team's listening to this, man.
Coach,
hold on.
Did you empty out the passing playbook?
We're not even putting a quarterback out there this year.
All Wildcat.
Every
play.
You're obviously going to be a junior this year and you got some time to think about it. Have you thought about life after high school yet?
Yeah, I've been thinking about it. I definitely want to play at the next level. I'm not really sure if it's going to be football or track yet, but I've been talking to some colleges, so I'm just taking it day by day right now and just seeing what happens.
We're getting some reminders from text messages and Twitter messages that Chris Bober is actually a pretty good chef. Can you confirm this?
I can confirm that.
Okay, we can confirm that. Jake, thanks for being here tonight, man. We appreciate it. Coach, we'll go back over to you to wrap this up. We'll catch up with Tim Yonk and the Creighton Prep Junior Jays here on After Hours. Obviously, when you have the history that you guys have had at Prep, it's probably a discussion a lot. What does this team have to do to get back to state this year?
Well, I mean, we 31 years we've been in the state playoffs.
Yep.
So I mean, we've got a long history of being in the state playoffs, and that's something that we take a lot of pride in. This team is, and I think one of them said it. This is a different group, and in a very positive way. Their leadership has been tremendous since November. They've taken it to a different level. Their approach, the way they've attacked things in the off season, our attendance has been off the chart. I mean, from everyone in our program, and that's an extension of their leadership, and how important that is. And so I think that part of it is really an intangible. It's sometimes, that's going to carry you through some of the tough times in games and in the season. We've got to be able to run the football. We've got to be able to play great defense, and those are things that if you do that, and I know it sounds cliche-ish, but those are things that are winning football teams and programs do, and we need to do that at a higher level than we did a year ago. And I think if we do that, this team has a chance to be really, really good. And I mean a semifinal, final type team. I really believe that this team has got that kind of makeup.
Well, congratulations on bringing the wing tee back, by the way.
You bet, absolutely, no problem.
Well, we'll get you out of here on this one. What's your favorite thing about being the head football coach at Creighton Prep?
Oh, it's just a great school, a great institution with great kids and great families. And again, these three guys are tremendous. I could have brought 20 guys today, right? And
sorry, I've got such a small studio.
No, it's just that's how many great kids that we have. And so to be at an institution like Creighton Prep that is has so much history behind it, and to be the leader of that program, it's really humbling. And I've been doing this a long time. And again, it's just a tremendous opportunity to lead these guys every day.
That's the head J himself, Tim Yonk. If you missed the Junior J segment tonight, check it out on our radio replay page at 1620thezone.com. It was brought to you by AX Plumbing. Home or residential, they can do it all. Check out axpservice.com for all your plumbing, water heater, gas piping, or backflow prevention issues. AX Plumbing is locally owned and operated. They'll leave your home or business cleaner than they found it. Check out axpservice.com for more details tonight. We'll be right back on the other side of the break. Which top 10 teams in college football will, won't, and should be in the top 10 by the end of the season? We debate the other side of the break. 1620 Zone. Hey, everybody, it's Jimmy Allen here for Paul Davis Restoration. Listen, you look outside right now, you see clouds rolling into the Omaha metro area. Obviously, there's been rain happening over the last 12 hours as well. If you're starting to see some water build up behind your windows, or maybe your roof was affected, you might even have some water backing up in your basement, starting to get that mold smell. Have your home restored to the way it was before storms ever showed up. 402-553-0373 is how you can get a hold of Paul Davis. Save that number for when you need it, or you might need it tonight. Give him a call, 402-553-0373, and work with Paul Davis.
Are you watching the water slowly seep down the drain again? Go with a local solution. Go with trusted. AX Plumbing is here to help. With over 20 years of serving the metro area, AX Plumbing can do it all, from residential to commercial. They can even help with the new build installation service. Head over to axpservice.com today. There's financing available to qualified buyers and military discount too. Check out axpservice.com today. AX Plumbing. They'll leave your place cleaner than they found it.
Breaking here at the news desk. When you stack Allo Internet, DirecTV, and mobile, you can lock in your price for 2 years. Sources are confirming that when you stack Allo Internet, DirecTV, and mobile, your monthly price drops and you're locked in for 2 years. That's fiber fast internet, premium streaming TV, and reliable nationwide mobile coverage. And this just in, you must switch by Labor Day to secure that locked-in pricing for 2 years. Switch, stack, and save at allofiber.com/stack.
It's golf season, and Jerry Ryan is your one-stop shop to get out on the links this summer. With options from Johnny O, Roan, Peter Millar, and Mizzen and Main, you'll be the sharpest dressed guy in your foursome. Stop in and let John, Dan, Jake, Deanne, and Monir the Tailor get you ready for the golf outing circuit or your big wedding this summer.
At Jerry Ryan's, we bring out the best in you.
When you shop local, you help strengthen our community. So if you need roof repair, gutters, siding, even windows, call local Pyramid Contractors. They're the #1 roofer in Omaha for more than a dozen years. Let Pyramid Contractors come and give you a free estimate. Give them a call at 402-502-9300. That's 402-502-9300. Or visit them online at
PyramidRoof.com. Never settle for less.
Criminal, civil, personal. If you or a loved one is facing a lawsuit, let Williams Law represent you and your family today. With more than 20 years litigation experience in Nebraska, Williams Law will defend you with the dedication you deserve. If you're facing a DUI or if your son or daughter has been accused of a crime, Williams Law is here for you. Call 402-522-6317 to get a free, no-obligation consultation and to get the representation you deserve today.
Now back to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
7:42 on a Monday night here on 1620 The Zone, brought to you by Pyramid Contractors. You don't become #1 in Omaha for over a decade by accident. Head over to pyramidroof.com and get a free estimate for your windows, roof, gutter, siding. They do it all. Check out pyramidroof.com tonight. The coaches poll top 10 or top 25 has come out, and we're going to tell you the teams that will, won't, and should be in the top 10 by the end of the season. We're going to throw a little bit of a caveat into it. Will and won't are teams that are there now, and should is a team outside the top 10 that will eventually be in the top 10 by the end of the season. I'll start us off. Will, for me, is Alabama. I think Alabama wins the SEC this year. I think we get our first real look of what Kalen DeBoer's Alabama is going to be, and I think that's an overall positive, and I think they will be not only be the top 10, it might be the #1.
My will was pretty clearly Penn State. Ohio State, I don't know what they're going to look like.
Right.
And they lost 2 regular season games last year, so I don't know.
Ohio State is a top 10 team right now because of payroll and previous accomplishments.
So, but I think Penn State has the talent and the schedule that they absolutely will be in the top 10 come the end of the season.
Let me ask you this. If they're not, is James Franklin on the hot seat?
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. I agree. Dan, who will?
For me, my will is Clemson.
Ooh.
I do believe that, #1, someone in the ACC has to make it. And Clemson is my forerunner there. Their schedule stacks up in a way this year that I think they can get it done. Luckily, they get SMU and Florida State at home. And their only real road test, granted, I'm putting a big asterisk next to that, is South Carolina on their final game of the season. That's going to be a rough one for them, quite possibly, but to be fair, with all of Dabo Sweeney's
Nice.
blustering
Well done.
that he has done over the last few years about this whole transfer portal and building it the way that he wants to build it in God's image for some reason, because we all know that that's how football is built.
God's their NIL. That's what he said.
And
People forget.
yeah, if he's going to do that much blustering, he needs to make the college football playoff this year. And I think he will.
Let's go with won't, because I'm going out on a limb here. My won't is Notre Dame.
Oh,
there's a chance that Notre Dame slips up in week 1 on the road against Miami. Former Creighton Prep alumni Shamar Brown is down there. Marty Brown is now one of the running backs in that rotation. And we've all seen it doesn't matter who Notre Dame loses to. It matters when Notre Dame loses.
Yeah.
Here's the problem. That front part of that schedule is a little bit loaded. Not only do they go to Miami, they host A&M at home the next week. So 2 pretty tough wins there. It's football. They lost Northern Illinois last year. If they just have another slip up later in the season, get caught sleeping like they did a year ago, that could be 3 losses, especially if they start off 0-2. There's no way Notre Dame makes the playoff.
My won't is the number 9 team on this list, LSU. I just feel like the SEC is going to be really tough this year. I don't know that LSU has it. I don't know that Brian Kelly fits. I don't think the vibes are good. And look, I see LSU probably remaining a top 25 team, but slipping out of the top 10, maybe in the 15-16 range. I don't think they're
That's not in the playoff.
I don't think they're a top 10 team at the end of the year.
Dan, who won't?
So this was the hardest one for me, because I went through that top 10 and I said there are like 3 teams on here that I could make a case for, not actually make.
Just as a little note to this list, there's almost every year there's a team that starts in the preseason top 10 that finishes outside the top 25.
Yeah, and that's
really quickly, Dan, before
there's
you
one that I want to say
before you give yours, and I'll let you. I just want to let everybody know what those 10 teams are. So it's Texas, Ohio State, Penn State, Georgia, Notre Dame, Clemson, Oregon, Alabama, LSU, and Miami.
And I unfortunately think that the team that's probably not going to make it is Oregon this year.
Ooh.
I think you get into a tough spot when you're thinking about this top 10, because you're basically saying these are also teams that are going to make the college football playoff. Yep. And I think Dan Lanning, unfortunately for his own self, caught a little bit of lightning in a bottle last year. Not saying that he can't keep that lightning in said bottle, but I think he's going to get knocked out of the top 10. I think he's going to be a little bit of a fringe, maybe 12 or 13 this year.
I thought I gave you guys the easy out by not giving you Miami to start. I thought for sure one of you guys would have the Hurricanes on this list out.
And I thought one of you two would have it. So
that's why I didn't go with them.
And I wanted LSU, but I was like, do I take the low-hanging fruit? And then I wanted to really just pee in everyone's cornflakes and be like, Ohio State's not going to make it. But I couldn't bring myself to make that argument.
Let's go with the team that is not in the top 10, but should finish in the top 10. I kind of alluded to it earlier. Kansas State. Talked about it earlier. They opened up with Iowa State and Dublin. If they're able to knock them off early, I think they are one of the best teams in the country. I think they have the best not talked about head coach in college football in Chris Kleiman. I think they've got the quarterback to do it. I think they've got the talent around them. They definitely have the defense. Kansas State is probably going to win the Big 12 and might be a top 7, 8, 9, 10 team by the end of the year.
I'll tell you who should be a top 10 team by the end of the year. Don't know if they will be, but they should, because of the amount of money that they've spent. Texas Tech. Texas Tech has spent the amount of money commensurate with being a top 10 team. Will they be? I don't know, but they should be.
We went through that list earlier, the top 32 teams that could make the college football playoff according to ESPN. They were number 32.
Yep.
My one that should is Ole Miss. Lane Kiffin has been in the mix for the last couple of years, and last year they were one of the few teams that was on the outside looking in, and they were clamoring and saying, hey, why not us? And I think this year is the year that they say, no, it is us. We will be in the college football playoff. We will end this season ranked in the top 10. And they've got the schedule to do it. And with all my blustering right now, this could all fall apart in week 4 when they play Tulane. But I really hope it doesn't. And
also in that top 32
Lane
list, by the way.
prevails over Tulane.
Yeah. Hey, we got to get to our trash takes of the night. If you missed this segment, check it out. It's at our radio replay page on 1620thezone.com. It's brought to you by Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear. 20 to 50% off their entire summer clothing rack. Stop by 78th and Dodge. They've been dressing Omaha for over 50 years. We'll give you our trash takes the other side of the break. 1620.
There's a fracture in the color bar.
Hey, everybody, it's John here for Timber Woodfire Bistro. It's not just a lunch or dinner spot. It is an experience, and that experience starts as soon as you walk through the door. You smell the wonderful aroma of the wood fire grill. And you know what comes off of that wood fire grill? Well, on Saturday and Sunday from 9:30 to 2, it's a great brunch menu. From 2 to 5:30, it's the happy hour menu. And any time of the day, you can stop in and get the timber pie. Jimmy already told you about it earlier. I'm going to tell you about it again because it is that good. The crust has this great chew. It's got a spicy, sweet, smoky, everything you could want in a great pizza. It's one of the best in the city, hands down, bar none. You will not regret getting a timber pie. That's not your thing. Try the Milanese meatballs or just go with the stretched margarita pizza. Everything on the menu is going to make your mouth water. Stop in 84th and Pacific. It's Timber Woodfire Bistro.
Heat waves are crashing all over the Midwest. Beat the heat with Controlled Comfort. If your AC is aging and you have concerns, Controlled Comfort is your one-stop shop for all your HVAC issues. Let Controlled Comfort's comfort specialists come out, diagnose your issue, resolve it, or replace that old AC unit with one that'll keep you cool in the months ahead. Head over to ControlledComfort.com today. Controlled Comfort keeps it under control.
The real game changer in college athletics, it's coaches. And at Bellevue University, there is an experienced team of coaches who know you both as an athlete and as a person. Plus, there are student coach advisors who are there to provide individualized academic support every step of the way as you progress towards your degree. At Bellevue University, you're not just another athlete. You belong. We're for you and for college sports. Visit BUBruins.com.
It's golf season, and Jerry Ryan is your one-stop shop to get out on the links this summer. With options from Johnny O, Roan, Peter Millar, and Mizzen and Main, he'll be the sharpest dressed guy in your foursome. Stop in and let John, Dan, Jake, Deanne, and Monir the Tailor get you ready for the golf outing circuit or your big wedding this summer.
At Jerry Ryan's, we bring out the best in you.
Are you dreaming of your business dominating local Google searches, drawing in customers effortlessly? Look no further. I'm Courtney, the Google gal from Pixel Fire Marketing. Need assistance with your Google business profile? From verification to getting more reviews, fixing maps to tackling annoying Google calls? I've got you covered. Your profile sets you apart and ensures you're the top choice for local customers. Visit fixmygbp.com for our $297 special offer. Visit fixmygbp.com for more details.
When you shop local, you help strengthen our community. So if you need roof repair, gutters, siding, even windows, call local Pyramid Contractors. They're the #1 roofer in Omaha for more than a dozen years. Let Pyramid Contractors come and give you a free estimate. Give them a call at 402-502-9300. That's 402-502-9300. Or visit them online at
PyramidRoof.com. Never settle for less.
You are listening to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
Putting a bow on the After Hours Lounge here on 1620 The Zone, brought to you by Pyramid Contractors. You don't become #1 in Omaha for over a decade by accident. Head over to PyramidRoof.com. Look for estimate for your windows, roof, gutters, and siding. They do it all. Check out PyramidRoof.com tonight. It's time for our trash takes tonight. I'll go really quickly. WWE did it right. SummerSlam was amazing. It's okay to keep secrets from your fan base as long as you deliver, and they absolutely did that with both nights of SummerSlam. I hated when they were doing 2 nights of pay-per-views. I thought it was incredibly stupid. They paid it off very well. Good job to Triple H and the team.
Mine is, surprisingly enough, a soccer take.
Wrestling and soccer trash take time? What's going to happen? Is Dan going to talk about golf next?
The Premier League is 2 weeks away, but the FA Cup has already begun. That's the headline from this awesome story by The Athletic today. And I could not agree more, because the FA Cup is the greatest sporting contest in the world. It begins 2 weeks before the season officially starts in the Premier League, and it starts with teams who play in pubs. They write this story about Fisher FC. It's a team owned by fans who all hang out at a pub.
Are they the Green Bay Packers of Europe?
and they play against other teams to qualify. It's at the qualifying round of the FA Cup. They're complete amateurs.
Beer league softball.
They play rec league soccer, and they get to compete in a contest in which Manchester United and Arsenal and Chelsea will play in just a few weeks down the road.
It's amazing.
It starts all the way at the bottom, and you qualify and move your way up.
Now we're here.
In this story, they detail some teams who have gotten all the way, like pub teams who've gotten all the way to play against teams who are in the Premier League. It's amazing. It's a fantastic contest, and I wish the U.S. Open Cup would do something like this.
Dan, bring us home.
Mine is actually quite simple. The Packers had family fun night the other night, and while family fun means packing out Lambeau Field, I would like to put out my opinion as an owner of the Packers right now.
People forget.
Gents, it's time we do the right thing. We sign Omar Brown. Let's go. Give me my former Husker in my backfield.
That was been the show tonight. If you missed any of the show, check it out on our radio replay page on 1620thezone.com. It was brought to you by Allo Fiber. If you're looking to extend your Wi-Fi, if you're sick of trying to do your streaming in your bedroom and it just keeps spinning in your circle because your Wi-Fi is not powerful enough to get through your entire house, you need to check out allofiber.com tonight. They also are going to save you some money. You can switch, stack, and save. Allo Internet, DirecTV, and the new Allo mobile services, all available at a discounted price up until Labor Day. Head over to allofiber.com/stack. Switch, stack, and save tonight. For Dan Campen and John Schreiner, I've been Jimmy Allen. Happy National Chocolate Chip Cookie Day, everybody.
I'll have two.
Heat waves are crashing all over the Midwest. Beat the heat with Controlled Comfort. If your AC is aging and you have concerns, Controlled Comfort is your one-stop shop for all your HVAC issues. Let Controlled Comfort's